But on the whole, certainly they're not vividly aware, like in Vaikuntha, that this is God. This is God. And we had better bow down and stay down. I remember actually when Srila Prabhupada first came here to Bhaktivedanta Manor, the helicopter landed out there, and Prabhupada came in and around, and I think through that way. And there were, whole lines of devotees coming around and in. And I, being one of the new boys, I was at the end of the line, just outside this little door here at the bottom of the stairs. And Prabhupada came around and stopped right in front of us. And we, of course, we were down, and Prabhupada stopped. And Prabhupada stopped for maybe a minute or something like that. And we were down and we didn't know what to do. Should we just get up and say, Hare Krishna, and carry on with life, or should we stay down? We took the conservative approach. We stayed down for a minute or so. Yes. So yes, in Vaikuntha it's very much like that. It's very vivid. It's very dramatic that He, the Lord, He is God. And who are we? We are just His little servants. But in Vrindavan, it's very different. It's very different. That Krishna is manifesting His sweetness and all these more intimate personal aspects of His nature, and everyone's seeing Him like that. Shri Radha Gokulananda, Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman, Shri Gornatai Ki Jai. And then, therefore, some of them, they even chastise Krishna. They even chastise Krishna. There's a description, the cowherd boys, they go out with Krishna and they're out there all day and herding. They're sometimes herding, but a lot of the time they're just playing. And sometimes they have team games. They divide into 2 teams. And one cowherd boy is the head of one team, another cowherd boy is the head of another team, and then they take turns to choose different team members. But no one chooses Krishna, because Krishna, whenever there's some competition or wrestling match or running competition or something of those sorts, Krishna, because He loves His devotees so much, He always lets His devotees win. Yeah, and he never wins. All the others always win. And if it's a running match and there's some number of them running, Krishna always comes last. And therefore, when they're choosing who's going to be on my side and your side, and nobody chooses Krishna. And in the end, there's only Krishna left, everyone else has been chosen. And the leaders ask each other, you want Krishna? No, you can have him. Anyway, so this is Yoga Maya. If it was Vaikuntha, and you had a chance to choose Krishna, everyone would just take that chance. But not in Goloka Vrindavan. It's very, very different because of the influence of Yoga Maya. And the nature, the idea behind Yoga Maya is to facilitate the endearment, you could say. To facilitate endearing Krishna to the devotees to Krishna in these different moods of love, without consideration of Krishna's power and grandness and so on. So, and even sometimes by Krishna's arrangement, because it's his will, Yogamaya influences Krishna. Not that Yogamaya has now become superior and is sort of manipulating and controlling Krishna, but by Krishna's arrangement, he allows this to happen, and he actually enters into that state himself. At the end of this pastime, this happens, in that Lord Brahma, in the following chapter, Lord Brahma comes to his senses and he understands that I have made a most terrible mistake, a shocking mistake. And so he offers his prayers and very humbly appeals for mercy and forgiveness and so on. But Krishna, at that point, at that particular point, Krishna came under the influence of Yogamaya. Krishna standing there in his left hand still some yogurt, rice and fruit, and left hand also. Krishna became a little puzzled being under the influence of Yogamaya, and Krishna started thinking, who is this four-headed man? And who is he offering prayers to? It couldn't be me, because who am I? I'm just a cowherd boy. But he seems very disturbed, so I don't want to just walk away and leave him. So I will remain until he finishes, but I hope he finishes quickly, because I have important things to do. I have to take the calves back to the cowherd boys, because I'm a cowherd boy. Another instance, similar type of situation, is there in the Damodar Leela, where Lord Krishna, Mother Yashoda leaves Krishna, Krishna breaks the pot of yogurt and buttermilk, and breaks some other pots. And then, before Mother Yashoda returns, Krishna, feeling very disturbed and distressed because of having just been abandoned by his mother, Krishna sulks, and he goes to some quiet place and just cries. Some quiet place, no one's around, and he cries. And Srila Jiva Goswami, he discusses the question. Some people think that Krishna in Vrindavan, when he is having these different interactions and all his relationships with the Brijbasi devotees, some people think that Krishna is simply acting, as an actor in a drama may very convincingly appear to be some totally different person to who he really is. So some people suggest that maybe Krishna in Vrindavan is acting. That this lady, Mother Yashoda, she is very nice. And she loves me in a certain way, as if I'm her son. But I'm not her son. Of course I'm not her son. I'm God. How could I be her son? It's ridiculous. But she's so nice, and she's so devoted and so sincere, I will act like I'm her son, just to kind of satisfy her, although I'm not her son, and I know very well I'm not her son. So Srila Jiva Goswami discusses this idea, and he points to that particular incident in the course of the Damodar Leela, that Krishna, before Mother Yashoda returned and saw the mess, Krishna went and sulked and cried, and there was no one around. And Srila Jiva Goswami makes the point that this proves Krishna is not acting, because he actually felt disturbed, he actually cried, and there was no one to see him. If he was an actor, he's not going to just continue acting if there's no one around to act for when they switch off the cameras, in Hollywood. Then the actors just go back to their lives. They don't carry on with James Bond or whatever it is. No, but Krishna, he was distressed when she was present. When she was not present, he was distressed. It means he was really distressed. This is Yoga Maya. And even Krishna, sometimes, not always, but sometimes, is under the influence of Yoga Maya. And this enhances, this endears Krishna so much, and it enhances the love and the loving exchanges practically unlimitedly. And therefore, those relationships with Krishna in Vrindavan, where Yoga Maya is doing so much to enhance everything, the love which is there in the relationships is just vastly different and vastly greater than the love which is there in Vaikuntha. Even though the love which is there in Vaikuntha is actually, with respect, vastly greater than the love that we have in Lechmohith or Bhaktivedanta Manor. With respect, you're all great souls, we appreciate you very much, but it's actually the case. It's another dimension. It's just another dimension of pure devotional service. But Goloka Vrindavan, it is something else again. Something else again. We were actually talking about this last night, and we made the point that Gopakumar and Brihad Bhagavatamrita, at the end, or more or less at the end, when he's gone back to Goloka Vrindavan, met Krishna, and he's gone back to Godhead, he is given the service. His service is that he goes up and down from Goloka to earth, passing by Vaikuntha and all the other planetary systems to earth, and then he preaches, and then he goes back to Goloka. And when he's going up or down from or to Goloka, he sees what is going on the other planets. And he sees what's going on Vaikuntha, the Vaikuntha planets. And Gopakumar says, when I see the devotees in Vaikuntha, and I remember the devotees in Goloka, it seems to me that the devotees in Vaikuntha are very miserable. Yeah. They're really not happy, they're distressed. Now, they are not distressed by our standards. They are really in great ecstasy. But that's how it seems compared to Goloka Vrindavan. So it's all enhanced by Yoga Maya. That's the idea. Anyway, for ourselves, we should definitely not prematurely think that we should somehow or other try to conduct ourselves as if we're under Yoga Maya. We're definitely not under the control of Yoga Maya. We have to cultivate Krishna consciousness, sadhana, bhakti, very carefully, step by step, maintaining the standards of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, we'll remain sort of entangled on the material platform. Yeah. We have to be very respectful towards the Lord, not become familiar with the Lord as the devotees in Goloka. It seems they are. Sometimes they chastise Krishna and so on. But we have to really cultivate Krishna consciousness in a very serious, dedicated and respectful mood to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise we'll become contaminated and fall down. Hare Krishna. Any comment or question? Maharaj, a comment, some words of wisdom.
Thank you for your very caring to us. You brought it from Rasalila to so much of Sattva and blended everything very nicely.
Srila Prabhupada ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Ko Premanande.